You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Surviving Jack After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Surviving Jack After Show.
And there it is. We are live. We are now going to talk about episode 5, something to talk about. So we have a lot to talk about.
We do.
Pun is intended, by the way. I meant to say that. I was planning that for the last 30 minutes while we were watching this incredible episode.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, everybody, my name is Monis Rose, and to my left is the always awesome Adrian Snow. How you doing, Adrian?
Hello, I'm doing well, thank you.
Absolutely. Did you have a good day watching this awesome episode?
I did. It was some nice zingers in there and some fun little puns and everything. Yeah, it was a fun episode.
There was. Yeah, we had just a little, for details wise, we had the incredibly large Game Boy, I noticed.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
man.
And
sorry, my heart just dropped a little bit.
yes, yeah, I remember. You're right. We had that. We even had, which we will talk about a little bit later, we had a video store scene with an adults only section. Do you remember that?
I do.
You remember that? Yes, we will.
I loved Blockbuster. Sorry. I loved it. It was my home away from home.
Yeah, I had Mom Pa video store, and they had the adult section.
I had that too. My mother would take me to that one, but they didn't have enough turnover in their videos, because when she would bring me, I would have seen like half of the movies in the store. It's obviously not the adult section, but the regular section.
I was gonna say, your mom and you going to the adult section.
Definitely not.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't sound. Anyway, well, like I said, we have a lot to talk about something to talk about.
Yes.
First, let's get going to Frankie's love life.
Yes.
Things really, since last week, shared the romantic kiss, and boom, pow, he is with Heather. I mean, they are girlfriend, boyfriend. They are monogamous. I mean,
after a week, they are girlfriend, boyfriend. You gotta love that high school speed right there.
that's fast. That's fast.
Yes.
And there's only one problem is they love each other's lips. Their lips just intertwine incredibly.
Like magnets. Mm-hmm.
But then there's nothing else there.
You think there's nothing else there? I just think he's really bad at talking.
That's what I mean.
Well, yeah.
Really bad at talking. Really bad. I mean, how long can you really make out for? What is the record? I mean, is he just going for the record? You know, oh, I'm just going to make out with her, which is fine. I mean, I'm sure a lot of guys would just not talk to, you know, their significant other and just make out.
I've had not so healthy, but interesting relationships where that was the case.
Exactly. But, you know, Frankie is a good guy. He just doesn't want to make out. He wants to learn how to talk to his girlfriend.
He does.
Absolutely. So anyway, he goes to the #1 person in his life for console, and that is his dad.
Mr. Jack, yes.
Mr. Jack. And Mr. Jack, really, what does he do? He takes Frankie to a strip club.
He does. He takes him to the entrance of a strip club, which was a great use of a studio backlot, if I may say.
Oh, okay, very good. Excellent, yes.
Good on
He takes
you,
him
Fox.
during the day. He takes him during the day to a strip club where pretty much Jack says, in so many words, the sleaziest of sleazy go. And this is, now folks, yes, there are strip clubs out there that are open during the day, and you maybe see them in the back of a pulp newspaper, and they advertise a buffet which
They have buffets at strip clubs.
right. Well, Jack even mentioned it. Jack said, "Oh, help yourself to the buffet." And yes, they
I
do.
thought he was joking about the women. I didn't realize they serve food at strip clubs.
Adrian, I once had a boss. I'm not gonna go off in the tangent. I had a boss, and he took a 3-hour lunch
At a strip club.
Yes. I know, and these were the men that Jack displayed
Yes.
in this episode. One of them was a doppelganger of a past boss.
Well, see, I'm not so much concerned about strip clubs being open the day because I know that happens. I guess my bigger concern is that they serve food at a strip club because I've been to a strip club, and I certainly would not want to have a meal there. It doesn't seem like the most sanitary of places.
Exactly, and I'm sure probably the quality isn't there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and plus you're not really going to be interested in the food that much.
Well, I learned something. So that's
Exactly.
Good to know.
Well, anyway,
Buffets.
so this was Jack's pretty much his first attempt to school Frankie. Jack, we learn, is this sex god with his wife, which disgusts in a way Frankie. He leaves his big Magnum condoms everywhere in the car, and he brags that he did it in Frankie's bedroom, he did it in the laundry room,
Well, it's his house. I mean,
That's
people
true.
are entitled to have sex wherever they want, and in their place of residence, kids aside.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, Jack really, gets in the limelight, but the strip club really doesn't work out. So plan 2 is Frankie actually takes the bull by the horns and really tries to talk to Heather by bringing her over for
dinner. Yeah.
Exactly. And what happens, Adrian? Do things go well?
No, not really for the most part. It's really just bad timing on Frankie's because their mother is in surgery and he doesn't realize that the surgery isn't, just like a simple, she had a little small surgery and now she's back, but it's actually a hysterectomy. And so she's going to be a little bit more emotional. So to bring in your girlfriend for that dinner, especially when Jack also said, do not bring anyone to the house tomorrow. Do not be at the house tomorrow. If you are at the house, I will throw you in the pool. So to start off, as soon as he brings the girl in, he's immediately thrown into the pool. Frankie is. So it's not the best first impression of your family to your girlfriend when they don't want her there.
But, you said at the beginning of this episode, this is high school. Things are moving very fast. I mean, they're boyfriend, girlfriend in a week. I mean, in that week as well, let's meet the parents immediately.
I think Frankie explained it as he wanted to find a way to talk to her, and having her meet the family was a way to kind of invite conversations. So if you bring him to a dinner, then everyone will be talking to her, and then from there he can kind of open up and talk to her. So I understand his reasoning behind it. Now, my parents never met any of my high school dates or boyfriends or anything.
Was that by choice? Were you embarrassed? Yeah, tell me more about that.
I was a bit of a late bloomer, so I didn't really have like a high school steady, but I went on a few dates and it wasn't necessary, if I wasn't serious about them or I didn't have like emotions or wanted to have my first time, then why did my parents need to meet these people? It's not, they don't need to meet them unless, and by the time that, I was dating, I could drive. So it wasn't like we had to set up car dates for them to pick us up from the movies or anything like that. So it was.
And how important is it to you that whoever you're dating is able to talk to you and hold a conversation?
Oh, it's really important. Really important. I mean, I have to be able to talk to you outside the bedroom. Just saying.
You can't just make out all the time.
Make out or do whatever, us older people do. So, that's not really a boyfriend. I'll leave it at that if I don't talk to you.
Excellent. So things do not go particularly well at this dinner, and pretty much Jack does what he does best by controlling the situation. Really, he doesn't care at this time if Frankie can or can't talk to Heather. He just wants Frankie and all of his friends to leave,
Yes.
which pretty much does. And then finally we have that full house moment at the end where Jack comes to terms and says pretty much, listen, just man up once again, man up. And Frankie finally just spits it out, runs once again, just like he ran to Heather last week to kiss her. He runs up right when she's about to leave, always running, spits out all of this mumble jumble. And does even Heather want to talk to him?
No, she just wants to make out.
Just wants to make out. So Frankie didn't even have to deal with any of this.
I would shut him up too. I mean, it wasn't like he was like, let's sit down and talk about life. It was, I've been holding in all these feelings and I want you to know I really like you. And I would kiss a guy too to get him to shut up if he was just going to come at me with a bunch of, ramblings.
Well, then go Frankie. I mean, yes. Then I think, just in case the love dwindles, he knows what to do to get some more Heather lips.
Well, I did like Jack's technique for getting Frankie to talk to her by starting up an argument and getting Frankie to yell at him. It's a very father approach.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to pick a fight with you so you can see my point of view. Yeah.
So Jack is not just dealing with Frankie. He's dealing, though, with his wife as well. That she is in a pretty much in a battle within herself because she just had a hysterectomy done. She had her tubes tied.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell me more about this, of what happens here, Adrian.
Well, I guess they decided, they didn't want any more children. And that's an appropriate, their children are an appropriate age for that to kind of have the talk where both of them are teenagers and everything. And I think there was kind of an emotional response that maybe the mom wasn't expecting to have to the hysterectomy, but Jack was very much aware it could happen, or just the awareness that you couldn't have kids anymore, and what does this mean? And so you really wanted to make everything as calm as possible. But can I say, I was very surprised that she had an outpatient hysterectomy. Is that, I didn't know that was
familiar.
possible.
Oh.
Because it's a pretty deep surgery.
Okay.
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. From what, Jack does an incredible, pretty much example of what a hysterectomy is with some stuffing and 2 green beans. So yes, you're right. From what I have seen from this episode, it does look pretty invasive.
And if I recall on Home Improvement back in the 90s when the wife had, what is her name? Jill? The wife had a hysterectomy. It was like a very special episode, like 2-episode, week-long thing. So I was very surprised that she had an outpatient hysterectomy in 1991. But anyways, that's just me.
Gotcha. So anyway, she is left pretty much, she is left in Jack's care, but Jack is dealing with all the other issues he has with his children and life. So pretty much the mom is, in a battle with herself. Oh, did she do the right thing? Did she not do the right thing? And also she is left alone with Heather as well and gets to know Heather and they bond. So, we actually do get to see more of a personality with Heather. And what did you think about that? We got to...
I think Heather has a very nice personality. I didn't really know how they were going to approach her at first because she's kind of the popular girl, the pretty girl. You never know what they're going to do with that. If they're going to make her, like, mean but unattainable or attainable but
They made her with some baggage.
Yeah.
Added some depth. We got a lot of exposition here.
She's very good for Frankie. And even Jack says that. He says, she's a good catcher or something like that. What does he say? Okay, I just put Jack approves of Heather.
Especially after that, I believe it was Kim from last week.
Yes, from that terror. So, yeah, she's a really nice addition to the cast and everything.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then, pretty much Jack once again consoles, Joanne. Says, because Joanne's conflicted. Oh, did she make the right decision here, to follow her dreams to be a lawyer? Or, should she have more kids to take care of? And Jack just says, pretty much, what does he say?
Well, essentially says that she made the right decision and, she's kind of trying to talk him out of what they've done and how they should have never allowed the kids to learn how to walk. And he said, we're always going to be their parents. It's never a day where we won't be their parents. He's like, I just had to have a conversation with our son about talking, and he's a teenager. So he was really nice about it, even though it was very much a Jack way of doing it. And I forget what he said at the very end, where he said, oh, it's like a life sentence with no parole being a parent. And she was so happy to hear him say that. And that was not how he meant it to be taken. So, yeah, it's a really nice little touch on their relationship and how they work. And you really see why they work as a couple, why they married. Yeah,
absolutely. So, the past few episodes, the winners, we always do this. So who is a winner from this kind of, because it's a larger cast. The winners are usually Frankie's friends, Frankie and Mike. George and Mike. And today they were not the winners in this episode. No. They were not. They did not really win.
Who was the winner? I'd say Frankie was the winner.
Probably. Because, I wanted to root for Mike and George, but they had some fun at a video store in the 1990s in the adult section, which I have frequented maybe once or twice.
The switcheroo.
They did a switcheroo with not just any regular movie. They did a switcheroo on VHS with the movie Casablanca.
Yes.
Absolutely. And the movie that they did the switcheroo with was like Aliens,
it was like
XXX, Deep Space,
naked boobs in space.
Yeah, like a quadruple boob, kind of like the Total Recall.
Yeah, just thinking about that.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so what happens is, it is in the pretty much the Casablanca sleeve, this porno tape. And just so happens that Frankie's parents, Jack and Joanne, their favorite movie is Casablanca. And when they see it in George and Mike's hands, they said, oh, Casablanca, take the video. Yeah. So this whole, pretty much the C story is, oh, what's going to happen to this porno? We need this porno back. And anyway, what happens? Do they get it back?
Of course not. I mean, once a porn lands in a parent's hands, you should just give up and admit to it. Don't even let them put in the tape. That was their first mistake. They let them put in the tape. So they have a whole little family sit down at the end where everything's all, hunky-dory and everyone's happy and coupled. And sure enough, they go, let's play Casablanca. And it's naked boobs in outer space. So, yeah,
now, are you talking from experience here, Adrian?
No, I've never been caught with a porn.
Okay.
Because I'm a girl. No, not even
that. By the time
I would have started watching porn, there was the internet.
Is no judgment, so, we do not. No. Yeah, we do not.
My parents listen to this, so I have to be careful.
Absolutely. So anyway, what do you think is going to be happening in the world in Frankie's world and Jack's world and Joanne? What's going to be happening in the world of Surviving Jack?
I feel like they might do a very special episode. We'll see. I'm kind
of a very special episode, but
a very special episode.
A very simple. Well, I mean, they did handle a hysterectomy in this episode.
They did, but it was a little bit lighter. There's always, when Will Smith's dad comes back from Oblivion, that was kind of like a very special episode. When What's-Her-Face has the breakdown on Saved by the Bell, it's a very special episode. So they might do that. I don't know. A very special episode's really dated. I doubt it would work in present times, but that's what I kind of expect to see by the end.
Absolutely. I really think we're going to be getting, what I really liked is we got a lot more exposition with Heather.
Yeah.
I feel that Rachel appeared a lot smarter than she did in last.
Yeah.
So
I feel did not like her last week.
No, I did not. But this week she had some better lines. She sounded a little more intelligent. Still strong-willed. I feel next week it will be more centered around Rachel for some reason. I feel the A story, instead of always being Jack and Frankie.
Yeah.
Jack and Frankie. I feel we're gonna get more Rachel. I feel and which I'm interested in.
It would be nice to see like the dynamic with her and Doug, her boyfriend. So maybe we'll get to finally figure out if he's gay or not.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely. I do suspect, especially from that grinding. Who grinds? You need to hug the woman's hips and just not do
not
any of
shake
that.
it out. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, well, you know.
Exactly.
It's the 90s.
Excellent. So, Adrian, where can all of the awesome people in the world find you these days?
They can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Miss Adrian Snow. I also want to give a shout out to at SquintsXY for calling me out for saying anus instead of the 80s. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for all of our fans. You can catch me, Monis Rose, on Twitter at RestFiction. That stands for restaurantfiction.com, where I recently did a review of the Italian restaurant from New Jersey, Vesuvio, which was featured in the show called The Sopranos. So check that out. Nice. Anyway, guys, my name is Monis Rose.
And I'm Adrian Snow.
Keep it real, keep it fresh, and always keep it on the flip side.
Yep.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.